I don't know what happens with this Vancouver Canuck team. I just don't know. This is a team that was people were talking about potentially being a playoff team this year. Well,
I think some people here had them in the playoffs.
Now, this is a team that they've got to be thinking draft.
They might be right down there with
Tank
the Coyotes
Alley's got to be coming.
and Anaheim.
And Bruce, there it is. How's that working? So that to me is the biggest piece of this puzzle is the Bruce Boudreau thing. Until they make that change, this team is not going to win. And maybe that's the plan. So you hang on to him. You're already paying Travis Green. You're now paying Bruce Boudreau. Why make the change now? Make the change in the summer. Let's see if we can lose. And maybe the balls fall our way and we get Connor Bedard. And now we got Elias Pettersson, Connor Bedard. Okay. Now let's flip coaches. Now let's make a run for it.
Two great comments from Blatantly Asinine. First of all, said, I hydrate daily on the tears of Vancouver fans crying over OEL's Albatross contract. And then the OEL trade was straight robbery and we're lucky GMBA hasn't been arrested. And then Nick said, Vancouver's top line is way too good to be tanking. That would be crazy. But I think Vancouver is an interesting example in what an incomplete team trying to be competitive, how they can fall. And this is a really good reminder, I think, for Coyotes fans and to exercise some patience, because it's so easy to, see all these. I mean, look at the skill on Vancouver. Like Nick said, you have Pettersson, you have,
Bo Horvat and Besser, who's having a tough year, but you've got some really good players on this team.
It happens so often when a team takes we talked about this before, when a team takes a big step forward one season, you think, oh my God, okay, here we go. It's this. No, often it's, oops, back here, and now you got to start building again. They weren't ready, but I think they got a little too excited by the playoff success they had that one season, and they made some dumb moves. And now, I mean, we talk about them maybe trying to rebuild. Can you? When you look at their cap situation,
and their contracts,
they put themselves in a tough position, and it wasn't this GM, it wasn't Patrick Alvin, it was the previous GM. So they're in a bad spot right now because they have this high end talent. And I'm not even as high on some of the players as other people are. I think Quinn Hughes is still a disaster defensively, but they have some talent on that roster. But they're kind of stuck with what they've got unless they can make some big moves. I don't know if you can move Oliver Ekman-Larsson's contract again. It'd be a miracle to see
Oliver Ekman-Larsson, to me, in this situation, like the Coyotes were committed to the rebuild. GM Bill Armstrong came in and said this is one of the first moves he made. And now he's in Vancouver, and it feels like if they want to rebuild, they have to do it without that contract. And like the imagery that popped in my head was like hot potato.
Right.
I don't know.
No, you're right.
Popped in. But it's unfortunate for a player like OEL, who at the peak of his career was Norris worthy, and now to see where he is today, and we already mentioned Garland, that he's had better and I'm hoping this season's just a fluke for him. Some players will have kind of an off year, and it's also hard when you're on a team that isn't doing well.
Situations you're in, all that.
I think if Garland was with maybe a different group, that he would be playing.
Yeah, hey, the way Connor Garland plays is the way he plays. I mean, he's not going to change for who he plays with, who he plays for, or who he's playing under as a coach. No question, he's going to work hard. He just needs to be put in a little different situation. And with the Arizona Coyotes, he had top 6 minutes. He was power play minutes. He was expected to be a guy that was going to get them goals offensively, so he got offensive zone start. He is not that guy in Vancouver. They don't want him to be. They haven't asked him to be. He's a bottom 6 guy. And I don't know if it's a good fit for him right now. And if they make a coaching change, his role may change. And the way he plays may change. His ability to get on the board again could change. So I still think there's stuff left in the tank for Connor Garland. I just don't think it's going to be in this situation.